Okay. So from where we have to start the class today? Let me open the material. Okay, Azure table storage services we have to start from. Table storage services we have to start from. So it is carrying a page number 18. Page number 18. Yeah, this one. Azure table storage services. Right, guys? See here, what is happening here? Table storage service, okay, that stores non-relational structured data in cloud computing. So when you want to store the data in the form of rows and columns, and the data is non-relational, the data is non-relational means when you are storing the data in the form of tables, and assume that you have stored multiple tables, that tables are not connected to each other. Okay, means joining those tables, you cannot generate some result set that is called as non-relational data. That is called as what? Non-relational data. That's what I'm saying here. See what I'm saying? Table storage service is the one which carries non-relational data in cloud computing, providing key and attribute stores with schema-less design. Because table storage is schema-less, it's easy to adapt our data as the need of our application evolve. Access to the table storage data is fast and cost effective for many types of applications, and is typically lower in cost than traditional SQL for similar volume of data. So what it is saying, accessing the data from table storage services is very fast, and compared to SQL tables, if you are storing the data in table storage services in cloud computing, then that is economical as well. That is economical as well. That is what it is saying. We can use tables storage to store flexible data sets. We can use table storage to store flexible data sets like users data for web applications, address books, device information, or other types of metadata or service requires. So basically, whatever the data that you are having in the form of rows and columns, and you want to store the data in the cloud computing, then table storage services is one of the best options for you that you can go ahead with. We can store any number of entities in a table, and a storage account may contain any number of tables up to the capacity limit of the storage account. In one storage account, we can create as many as tables we want, okay, inside the table storage services. Okay, what I'm saying here, in one storage account, we can create table storage services, and in that we can create as many tables we want to store the data. Okay, and this data is getting stored in cloud computing. Okay, Azure table storage stores large amount of structured data. The service is a NoSQL data store which accepts authenticated calls from inside and outside of Azure cloud. Azure tables are ideal for storing structured non-relational data. Common uses of table storage services includes this: storing terabytes of structured data capable of serving web scale applications, storing datasets that don't require complex joins, foreign keys, stored procedures, and can be denormalized for fast access. Okay, quickly querying data using the cluster index. Okay, accessing data using ODIC protocols, link queries. Lot of benefits that we are having with the table storage services. If I go here to the Azure portal, let me go here to the Azure portal. Okay. I'll say here storage accounts. I'll go to this storage account. Okay, here I'm having table services, table storage services. Click on here, table storage services. Here, switch to access keys and click here on plus table. Now it is allowing you to create one table. Okay, so I'll say here table name something like a employees info. Here it is going to create one table for you called employees info. Click on OK. Fine. This is what the table I have created. But the point here is, okay, after we create a table, in Azure Cloud Platform, in Azure Cloud Platform, we cannot access the table directly. We cannot access the table or table data directly. Not possible. So for that, what we have to do, okay, to access the table or table data, we have to, okay, we have to use Azure Storage Explorer. This software is of free of cost. This software is of free of cost. Okay, fine. So what I'll do here now, I'll go to my portal. This is the table I have created, employees info. There is no way option for me to go inside the table. So for that, what I'll do, I'll open my software storage explorer. Okay, I'll say here plug. Okay, first I'll synchronize this with my Azure account, in which Azure account I have created this table storage. I have created in which Azure account, this one, Pawan Kumar 877. So whatever that you have to select here carefully, this one, right? So click on it. This is done. Now you come here. Okay, just say here close. Authentication is done. Click here on this plug. Okay, storage account. What is the storage account? Here we have created this one. Source as a 1974. So I'll say here name and key. Next, I'll give the key. Yesterday we have done this. Yesterday we have done all this lab. Not sure how many of you are remember. If not, please see the video recordings. Access keys. Copy this one. Copied. Paste the key here. What is the storage account name? Source SA 1974. Source SA 1974. Display name same as storage account name only. Let it be. Display name same as storage account name only. Click on next. Connect. Okay, fine. So I'll say open in Explorer. Okay, I have got the storage account. Expand the tables. Now see here I'm having table got created employees info. These are the default tables. Okay, it's not related to us. Okay, so this is the table employees info. When I click on this, see now this table is ready for me. Obviously it's an empty table. It's an empty table. We are not having any data as of now inside this table, because this table is just an empty one which we have created. Fine. So what I'll do now, this is the steps, guys. We'll create a storage account first, then we'll create a table, service inside the storage account, open Azure Storage Explorer. What all I have done just now, this is I'm giving in the steps. Step 2, Excel, okay, open Azure Storage Explorer, connect to the respective storage account in which you have created the table storage, expand the table, double click the table we created in our storage account, plus add pass values and partition keys and all that stuff. So here you go here, say here add, okay, partition key, row key. These are some unique numbers, unique value, unique records you have to give. Unique records could be something like this, guys, that should not get repeated in your table multiple times. You can use this as your business keys also, surrogate keys. Business key, surrogate key means what? If your table is having 10,000 records also, 50,000 records also, these two columns, partition key and row key columns values should not be repeated. This you have to keep in mind. Example, I'll give it as something unique. Employees info, na? So I'll give here employee number 45892356. Employee number. Row key, I will give this also something very unique. What we can give apart from employee number? Okay, I'll give the employee ID. Okay, I'll say here something like this. Okay. At infosys.com. Fine. Employee ID, mail ID. Employee number, employee mail ID, something. Add property. Now, okay, the name cannot be empty or have more than 20 to 55 characters. Okay, fine. So now what I'll do, I can add multiple columns in the table as per my project requirement. Okay, now what I can add here first name of the employee. Okay, then I'll say here last name. Then I can say here skill set of the employee. Then I can say here experience of the employee. Then I can say here salary of the employee. Then I can say here location of the employee. Okay, so first name is, let us take Rajesh. Last name I'm taking as Khanna. Okay, so why it is throwing error? The name contains invalid characters. Make sure name conforms to C# identifier rules. Acha, I think it is not accepting the spaces, I believe. Okay, fine. Skill set, he is Azure data engineer. Experience, so experience comes in numbers, so the data type cannot be string, it should be integer, int 32. Okay, I'll say here 4 years experience. Salary 50,000. Okay, this also comes in number. Location India. Okay, all these details you have given now. Now say here insert. See, now what has happened? The data has been inserted inside the table. The data has been inserted inside the table here. Getting guys, is that clear? Okay, I'll say here add. Okay, I'll give employee number here. Fine. First name, I'll give it as someone from our class only, Shilpa. Okay, I'll take it as Shilpa, I'll take it as Sahu, I'll take it as Azure data engineer. I'll say experience 2 years. I'll say salary 40,000. I'll say here location India. Say here insert. So what is happening here? We have created table and we are inserting the records. We are inserting the data inside the table. We are inserting the data inside the table. But if you notice here one thing, it's all happening manually. It's all happening manually. Correct? So if there are 500 records to be inserted inside a table, your client is saying that all this data he wants to be inserted inside the cloud computing. Now 500 records you cannot insert one by one. It will take 2 days, 3 days of time. Correct? Yes or no, guys? Tell me. It will take lot of time, basically. Not possible. So I'll just insert some few records manually, 2, 3 records more I'll insert. Then I'll show you directly how we can import the data from our file, from our local laptop to cloud computing. That also I'll show you. I'll just insert few more records. Okay, I'll say here, okay, at accenture.com. First name, I'll take someone from our class, Taqir Rahman. I'll say here Taqir. I'll take here Rahman. Skill set, I'll say here Azure DevOps. Experience 2 years. Salary 40,000. Location USA. Insert. I'll insert one last record. Okay, this is the employee number at tcs.com something. Okay, I'll take, okay, Raja Shekhar. Raja, last name as Shekhar. Skill set, I'll say here Azure DevOps. Experience 4 years. Salary 50,000. Location USA. Insert. Now assume that now like this you are having 5,000 records. Like this you are having 5,000 records. Lot of records are there. Now you want to see the data particularly of one category of employees, one type of employees. Now you want to know how many employees are there who are working as Azure DevOps engineers, who are working on Azure DevOps. So for that, what you are having here, you are having a provision where you can write the query. See, this is the query you have to click. Fine. What you will do here, okay, you will say here, okay, I want to know all the employees who are working as Azure DevOps. So I'll say here, skill set column. I'll delete this one. I'll say here string and value. Exactly it's the same value you have to give. Okay, Azure DevOps. Exactly you have to give, guys. Now, after I give this one, I click on run. When I click on execute, what happens here? I'll get only the employees information who is working on Azure DevOps. I only get the employees information who is working on Azure DevOps. Like this, you are having a lot of employees, guys. Someone is working on Azure DevOps. Someone is working on, React.js. Someone is working on Java. Someone is working on machine learning, data science. Someone is learning on IoT. Lot of technologies. Lot of people working on different things. You want to get the information for all. Okay, then simply here you have to add the condition what you want. Say here apply. See, now I'm getting only the information of the employees who are working on Azure DevOps. You want now for Azure Data Engineer. So what you will do, you exactly pass the value. Azure Data Engineer. Spaces also matters. This space that you are seeing now, this spaces also matters. This space also matters. Here you should not be having any extra space. Click on run. See, now you are getting the employee's information who is working as Azure Data Engineer. Now you want something else, like, lot of things you can do here accordingly as per your choice. If you want, you can write a SQL query as well. Here you can directly write the SQL query as well. Okay. Skill set equivalent, we have used what? Azure Data Engineer. Okay, fine. So advanced options also, if you want, you can go ahead. Okay, just I'm showing. If you want further, you want say that skill set should be Azure Data Engineer, and what I'm saying, something like location should be India. Then what I can do, I'll say here location. I'll give here location as India. Suppose that you are having 1500 records. In that 100 records are Azure Data Engineers, but you want Azure Data Engineers who are working from India location. Then you will give these conditions and you hit enter. Okay, you will say here skill set should be Azure Data Engineer, but experience should be 2 years. Then here you can say experience, okay, 2 years. Now I'm getting 2 records now. I'll get only 1 record. See, I got only 1 record. So basically, this software, Azure Storage Explorer, is going to help you in plenty of ways, guys. In plenty of ways, it is going to help you out. Okay. I'll just remove this all. I'll say refresh. I got the table back to normal. I got the table back to normal. Fine. Now, these records, if you see, we have entered manually. So practically, inserting records one by one, is quite challenging. It's quite challenging. So for this reason, okay, what we'll do, if we are having a file, of 100 records, 1000 records, whatever it is. Okay, we are having a file of 100 records or 1000 records, whatever. Okay, I want all that files, all that records. I want all the records of that file, okay, in one shot. Because 100 records, 1000 records, 10,000 records, whatever it is, I cannot insert manually. I want all the records of that file in one shot in my cloud table. In my cloud table. Okay, fine. How can we do that? Okay, assume that now I'll take one sample query, sample file, which is having data. Okay, we are having how many records here? 10 columns, 10 records are there. So yeah, this is good one. This I'm having many records. This is good one. So if I see here, I'm having almost 72 records. This is perfect. These files will take sales file 2014 to 19 USA UK. I'll say here this one, sales file 2014 to 2019 USA UK India. Okay, fine. I'll come here. Okay, I'll say here import. Okay, I'll click on these 3 dots. I'll say here D. Okay, I'll go to Naresh IT, Azure Data Engineer. D Naresh IT, Azure Data Engineer. Okay. Then I'll say here sample files for ADF demos, Azure Engineering batch. And what is this file? Sales file 2014 2019. Okay, USA, UK, India. Open. Now see, you want country column as country only in the cloud table? Yes, then fine. Year column as year only? Yes, all this is fine. Type, okay. Country as you can take it as string. Info is also fine. Year you can take it as integer. Product you can take it as string. Sales you can take it as integer in 64, whatever it is. Fine. Auto generate empty or missing column if it is there. Okay. A partition property and row key property must be defined. Is not okay. I'll just select this one. Infer types for an unallocated property. Just leave these values to default, guys, as it is. Simply say here import. Simply say here import. So now what it will do? It will it has imported the complete data into the existing table only. This is not correct. This is not correct. So what I am supposed to do, this is not correct. What I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to create one more table here. Not in that table. Sorry, my mistake. I'll go here and I will create one table here. In my table services, I'll create one more table. Call here sales data. Sales data or sales info. Sales info. I'll say here, okay. Sales info. Now I'll come here. I'll refresh all. I have to get the new table here. Sales info. Yeah, I got it. This is my new table. Brand new table. Brand new. I'll say here import. I'll navigate to my local folder, my laptop, countries data. This one, open. How many rows it is having? Country, year, product type, sales. So this is not the correct file. We have taken the wrong file. Okay. What is this file name here? Sales file 2014-2019. Sales file 2014-2019, USA, UK, India. This file, okay. Open. Yeah, this is fine. Change the data types accordingly, guys, so that in future it will not make you any trouble. For this also you can take it, not a problem. But to be on safe side, we have to give the things perfectly. This is data type. Means what the column is carrying, what type of data, accordingly we are giving the data type here. So I'm saying here, okay, string. I'll say here sales as int 32 and I'll say here import. Okay, I'll say here import. Okay, fine. Fine, guys. So it is showing some error. It's saying that it's failed. It is getting failed. It is not accepting the file. Sorry, guys. So I'll try it one more time. Just hold on. Maybe I think because of changing the data types, it is showing some issue. I'll take this file. Okay, I'll say here import. So now it has got imported. See, guys, partition key, row key is the unique value that it has taken by default. Okay, let it be timestamp when you have created this record, when this record has been inserted into the cloud table, and here is your actual columns: country, product type, sales, and years. Country, product type, sales, and year. These four columns it is showing here. Okay, and now accordingly you can go ahead and you can start writing the queries, or you can apply the filters here accordingly, and then you can get the data. You can get the data analysis. You can do whatever you want. Like how we have imported now, we can export also. Okay, you will say here, okay, export types, export partition keys. Okay, all these things. Go here, go to desktop, give the file name salesinfo.csv, save, export. Okay, go here now. See, sales info file got exported here. So from cloud table, okay, you have inserted the complete file. So I think I have to select the complete records. Whatever has been selected here, that much only it has exported. Okay, is that clear? Just refresh it. I just say that I want to export the complete table, not one particular record. It is exporting just one particular record only. Okay. Advanced option. Okay. We'll say here select all, export. I think the file is open. Let me close this file also. I delete this previous file. I'll say here salesinfo.csv, save, export. Import and export both we can do from the cloud table. See, the complete record got exported. So we got the data out of the cloud. We got the data. We got the data out of the cloud table. Also, we push the data from our local laptop to cloud tables. And obviously we can do a lot of other operations here. We can write the queries, we can apply the different filters, we can add the columns, additional columns we have added now. If you see here, this is what additional columns we have added: first name, last name, skill set, experience, salary, location, country. Depends upon your business requirement, we can add the additional columns also. This is what all the steps, guys. All the see, for me it is not required to refer the steps. For me it is not required, but when you are doing it, you please refer the material or video recordings. Video recordings will be much more convenient compared to materials. Okay, this is what about table storage services, guys. Next we are having about queue storage services. Queue storage services is the last storage offering we are having inside the storage account. If you see here for storage account, if you go here, see we are having blob storage service, file share storage service, table storage service, queue storage service. So this we have discussed. This we have discussed. We have done labs for all. This we have also completed. Now this is the last one, queue storage services. Okay. So queue storage services is what? See, guys, I'll put a very simple point here. I think every one of us is having a smartphone, at least these days. in 23-24 year. Every one of us is having a smartphones. Correct? No doubt. So now what is happening here? We'll install some applications in our smartphones now. What mobile applications will install? We'll install mobile apps. We'll install the mobile apps in our smartphones. What are the mobile apps we'll install? Different mobile apps we'll install is something like, Swiggy, Zomato, Redbus, Mintra, right? Ola, Uber, etc., etc. These are all the different apps we install in our smartphones. These are the different apps we have installed in our smartphones. So I think many of you have experienced that. Okay, on weekends we'll get messages from Swiggy saying that, okay, for weekend special, okay, in so and so restaurant, okay, the biryani is too good to try, right? The dosa in dosa factory, some restaurant dosa factory is a deliciously tasty, deliciously tastiest to try. Like this kind of messages we'll get in the mobile apps. Yes or no, guys? Redbus, what Redbus will do? If you are traveling from Hyderabad to Bangalore on bus, so when you book your bus ticket for the first time, they will take all your details. They will take your mobile number, they will take your details and all that. And what happens there? After that, okay, they will capture your data, and the next time onwards, they will give you the details. They'll give you the promotional messages. Suppose if you have booked a ticket from Hyderabad to Bangalore, next time onwards, what they will do, they will continuously sending you the messages. For Bangalore to Hyderabad, this so and so bus company is offering 30% discount. This so and so bus company is offering 25% discount. Have you guys observed this? How many of you have experienced this kind of messages, guys? No one? No one has experienced this kind of promotional messages? Seriously? You guys won't use mobile apps? Only Shilpa Sahu is using the smartphone. Remaining all our people are having Nokia 1100. Seriously? So you can respond me now, guys. I will not ask any technical question. No need to worry. Okay, fine. So now, like this kind of small messages, like this kind of small messages, we can store it here in the queue storage services. One liners, like this kind of one liners, we can keep it here in the queue storage services. Okay, so what I'm saying here, a single queue can be up to 5 TB in size. Okay, like how we have created one table, This is one table. This is another table. Like this, we can create queue. Like this, we can create queue. That's what I'm saying here. A single queue can be up to 5 TB in size. So it can potentially store millions of messages. Millions of messages. The target throughput for single queue is 2000 messages per second. So once you are storing the promotional messages here in the queue storage, then it can deliver up to 2000 messages per second. So this is the capacity. This is the strength. This is the strength of the queue storage services. It can deliver up to 2000 messages per second. That much fast, that much capable, and that much okay, productive, energy efficient it is. Okay, the target throughput for single queue is 2000 messages per second, which allows it to handle high volume scenarios also. Okay, and why we use this one, I'll just tell you. See, messages in storage queue are typically first in and first out. So the message which comes first, that message will comes out first also. Okay, the message which gets in first, that message comes out first also. A message in queue storage service can be in any format up to 64 KB. So one message capacity can be up to 64 KB, not more than that. And the maximum time that a message can remain in the queue is up to 7 days. After 7 days, if you want to keep, you can keep it. The message can be there in the cloud queue storage service. Queue storage service is where? In cloud computing. The message can be in queue storage service up to 7 days or more than 7 days also, depends upon the configuration, how you are doing it. Okay, so why we are using these queue storage services, I'll tell you. See here what happens. Assume that this is your web application, mobile application, or some services which is sending continuously the messages to the receiver. This is the sender. This is receiver. See, message senders. These are message senders. This is message receiver. So when these message sender is continuously sending the messages to the application, and application is not in a position to receive the messages with the speed, with the capacity, how the sender is sending it. Suppose if message sender is sending, okay, 10,000 messages in 1 hour, but receiver is having to take only 5,000 messages per hour. What happens here? Remaining 5,000 messages will be lost because receiver is not having that much capacity to intake, to consume. It is not having that much of capacity or capability in 1 hour. For an example, I'm taking 10,000, then 5,000 messages will be drop off. Data losing is very dangerous. We should not lose data in any circumstances, in any scenarios. So for that, what we will do to balance, okay, the messages properly between the sender and receiver, we'll use queue storage services in between. We'll use queue storage services in between. And when the senders continuously sending the messages, what happens here? First, the messages get saved here to the queue. Here, queue can take not 10,000, okay, 50,000, 1 lakh messages also it can consume in 1 hour. No problem. It will consume all the messages, queue storage services, and then it will send the messages to the receiver as per the receiver capacity, as per the receiver capability. So the receiver can take the messages from the queue accordingly as per the capacity, as per the capability, and present it in the web application. So that what's happened here, the data loss won't be there, and the complete stream flow will go smoothly. Okay, each queue maintains an inventory of messages. Queue is a collection of messages to read from any application from the cloud through any REST API or any Azure supplied client library. We can consume the queue. So see here, if I go to cloud computing, if I click on queues, if I click on this queues, I'll say here queue. I'll give the queue name. Any queue name you can give. I'll say here medical records. Okay, I'm giving a medical records. Something queue name I'm giving, and I'll say here okay. This is the queue I have created. This is one queue I have created. I can create one more queue. Like this, I can create as many as number of queues I want. I'll say here engineering records. Engineering records. Okay. So I have created two queues, medical record and engineering record. Two queues I have created. Then this also we cannot access in Azure portal. This also we cannot access in Azure portal. If you want to access this, then we have to compulsorily use Azure Storage Explorer only. We have to use Azure Storage Explorer only. So close this one, refresh all, come here. Okay. Expand this storage account, expand the queues, and here you are going to see the two queues what you have created, medical records and engineering records. I'll say here medical records. Okay. Then no data it is showing here. Okay. What I'll do, I'll go here. I'll go inside the medical records. Okay. I'll say here switch to access keys. Okay. I'll say here add a message. What I'm doing here, I'm adding a message. So in one queue, okay, in one queue, you can add, okay, as many messages you want. But each message should carry up to 24 KB size, not more than that. Or maybe as many as messages you want, or some limit is there, I don't know. But lot of messages you can add it in one queue. I'll go here. I'll go to the portal. I'll say messages text. This is what medical records, right? This is medical records queue. So what we'll see in medical field, we'll see medical field different doctors. Different doctors we are having in medical field. So doctors that we'll see in medical field we are having is like, ophthalmologist, doctor. And you want this message to be expired in 7 days, then pass here 7 days. If you want this to be expired in 5 days, what happens here? After 5 days, automatically this message, what you are creating, will get deleted from your queue. If you want it to be expired in 5 minutes, then it will expire in 5 minutes automatically. So whatever you are setting up here, accordingly, it will go for. If you say here message never expire, then this message will be there in your cloud queue storage services until the end, until the lifetime. Until the lifetime, it will be there. Okay. Say here, okay. See, one message I have inserted. ID, what is the message detail, date and time when this message I have inserted. Expiration, it has shown 1000, means it will never ever get expired. Next, I am saying here add message. I'll say here radiologist. These are the different doctors that we'll have in medical industry, right? Next we are having is what? A gynecologist, right? Then next we are having is what? Cardiologist. Right now, like this, different doctors we'll see in medical industry. Ophthalmologist, eyes doctor. Radiologist is one, the doctor who do all your tests and all. Gynecologist, the doctor who is look for the ladies and all. Cardiologist, the doctor who look for the heart problems and all. Okay. Then we are having nephrologist, neurologist, and then we are having next nephrologist. Like these different types of doctors are there. I'm just writing randomly some doctor specialization. All this comes under medical records. So now all this will be there in your cloud until lifetime, because I have said message should not get expired. Okay, fine. Same what I'll do now. I'll go here for engineering records. I'll go here for engineering records. I'll say here add a message. What we'll see in engineering? In engineering, we'll see here mechanical engineering. Right? I'll say a message never expire. Then we'll see here computer science engineering. Computer science engineering. Then we'll see here civil engineering. Then we'll see here, okay, chemical engineering. Then we'll see here electrical engineering, etc., etc. All these are the messages I'm adding in my queue. In which queue? Engineering records queue. Engineering records is the queue I have created. In this, I have created multiple messages, and I have created medical records as one queue. And here I am creating all these different types of messages. Okay. खत्म पे है. So yeah, so this is the queue. This is the queue I have created. This is the queue storage. This is the queue, and these are the messages. Okay, this is the queue storage we have created, right? Queue storage is what? This one. This is the queue storage we have created. And then we have created two queues. Engineering records, medical records. Okay. Inside this queue, I have kept multiple messages. Okay. If you click on DQ, then it will delete the messages in our queue one by one and with first in, first out pattern. See, if I go here, if I say here DQ, if I say here DQ, what happens here? Which message come first, that message will get deleted. See, out of 5, now 4 records are there. That's what I'm saying here. If we click on clear queue, then it will delete all the messages from our queue in one go. If I say a clear queue, then all this will be deleted. All this will be clear. We can also access, browse these messages and queues in Azure Storage Explorer. Yes, that's very true. See, engineering records, you will see all the messages here. Okay. See, if the message is very big, then you can read the message completely here, like an email box, details of your message, ID of your message, all this you will get it very easily. Okay, we can also set the messages as never expire inside the queue. That I have done already. This I have shown already. Fine. This is what it is. Fine. Next concept we are having is soft delete, guys. I hope it is clear now. Queue storage services, it is clear now to all of you. Okay. DQ is deleting the message. Okay. DQ count is how many DQ counts, how many messages you have deleted one by one. It will give you that count. Is that clear? So next concept we are having is soft delete, guys. Soft delete is the next concept. Okay. So I cannot start this concept because I don't want to stop in the middle. Once I start the concept, normally we'll finish the concept on the same day, else it will be problem for you also. So if there is any questions, anything regarding today's concepts, you can ask me. I'll help you out. I'll clarify your doubts. Okay. Fine. Any questions, guys? Any questions, anyone? Mitrunjay, yes, I have seen your email. You have to put the link in the browser. You told that you have put it in the browser and it is opening for you. That is done. Your issue is resolved. Don't put an extra efforts on one particular task only. If you are able to see the file in one browser, then that is sufficient, Mitrunjay. As of now, at your level, that is sufficient. Okay, it depends upon the browser configuration also, what settings you have done in your browser and all. That I don't know. I am not a browser expert. Okay, if the data is getting open for you in one browser, that is sufficient. What is this, Kiran? Hi, sir. I don't know why I can't able to sign in once after I download Storage Explorer. Why you are not able to sign in? Are you giving the proper user ID and password? Are you giving the proper user ID and password? Ideally, you should be getting a sign in. No, see, Manpreet, AAC is recommended by Microsoft. Azure Storage Explorer is recommended by Microsoft. Okay. So normally this has to use, but it depends upon project to project. We cannot say anything. That option itself is not asking you. So I'm not sure what configurations that you have to do in your Windows. What is the error you are getting? Put it in the Google, Kiran. You will get to know. Okay. So just listening to your thing, I cannot say something here. Do one thing. What is the error you are getting? Just put it in the Google and check it out, or put in the YouTube and check it out. Is that clear? Okay. Thank you, Mithunjay. Is that clear to you, Kiran? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So this is a new concept, guys. I'll start this concept in tomorrow's class. Okay. Fine. We'll start this concept in tomorrow's class. Okay. Fine, guys. Thank you so much. We'll connect again tomorrow, guys. Bye. Take care.